Hi, I'm Nick Psaila and welcome. Today's episode we're going to be speaking about one of my foundational rules to business reinvention. And here's what I mean. I want to talk to you today about going from imitation to innovation. So if you're in the process of reinventing your business or you're starting a business in today's marketplace, I believe that it's important to stop imitating and start innovating. Now, let me show you what I mean. Think about this for a second. Think about people like Mark Zuckerberg, with Facebook. He's gone from, not following anybody or imitating anybody to innovation, right? He said, wouldn't it be good if, I could have students that can know about each other, to speak to each other, to get people connected with each other, to find out a little bit more about each other. And now, look at the explosion of Facebook, right? How about people like, Sir Richard Branson? He went from, somebody that, was just in the process of building a record label, then built Virgin Records, which was, groundbreaking, and now, Virgin Galactic. Isn't that a level of going from imitation to innovation? I believe, Sir Richard Branson is the ultimate innovator. People like Elon Musk. So Elon Musk built Tesla, right? So the motor vehicle Tesla, and also Project X and Space Exploration X. So in other words, he's also using things like, battery powered houses now through solar panel, right? Imitation to innovation. He's the innovator in the field. Now, what does this mean to the, everyday business owner? I believe it's simple, and I'm going to show you three different components around where you can see imitation versus innovation. So if you're in business, as an example, if you try to follow what a competitor does, more than likely you're going to end up worse off than the competitor. And the reason being is, well, you don't know what their results are. You don't know whether they're, going well or they don't. Not all that glitters is gold, right? So some things that may look really, really cool aren't necessarily like that. Now, what do I mean, by understanding imitation to innovation? So let's take social media as an example. Some people are using, other people's collateral. Some people are using, other people's ideas and techniques. And a lot of business owners are just saying, oh, look, it looks like, that person's got Facebook ads. Well, maybe I should have Facebook ads. In other words, imitation comes from a few components. This is what I believe. Number one is not enough education and understanding of the goal and objective that you're trying to, create. Here's an example of what I mean. So a lot of business owners say, you know what? I'm just going to try Facebook because everybody's doing Facebook and I've heard that Facebook is good. That's imitation versus I know exactly what target audience that I want to get to. I know the exact amount of people that I want to get to, and I'm going to have a structured campaign and choose the platform that I believe is going to have the best outcome, right? That's innovation. Now, in other words, not enough education and understanding how to do it usually says, you know what, this is all too hard. I'm just going to do what everybody else does. It seems like they're getting results and it's cool. Well, if you're in business, jumping off the cliff like everybody else isn't going to end up in a good result, right? Now, what does it mean around sales? So around sales, the concept of imitation through to innovation is, a lot of people in sales are still what's called push sales. In other words, it sounds like, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, right? It's very directive selling. It's old school way. Hey, you really need this. You've got to buy this. That's imitation. Other people have done that. Most people in sales, copy, somebody else with business, or the worst part about it is, you haven't even learned anything about sales and you're just trying to wing it, right? Imitation is winging it. What does innovation look like in today's market around sales? It's understanding your client. It's understanding that through research, through surveys, through picking up the phone and speaking to them, through identifying their needs, their wants. How is it that I can place my product or service into something that isn't we'll have this as a luxury, but most importantly, I need this as a necessity. I'm happy to exchange my money for your product and or service. That's what you're looking at with the client. I like to call it, conversation pieces rather than selling, right? Really, you're having a conversation with somebody, but most importantly, you're trying to find out, what their buying decisions are and how you're able to position your product or service in the best frame that they're able to make a decision of, themselves that they really want that service. And what I call is that's pull selling, bringing that client to you, allowing them to, express what they want and experience the product or service for themselves. Now, what does it look like in marketing? here's another thing. So a lot of people, when it comes to imitation marketing, say, well, as an example, all pizza places, they just do letterbox shops. That's the best way to do it. Well, that's okay, but I mean, if you're doing letterbox shops and it's raining, the letterbox, whatever you're putting in that letterbox is going to either turn into paper mache by the time it gets there, or if it's sticking out a bit, all the ends are all like blurry, and you're really going to throw that in the bin. So using that type is, imitating, it's using somebody else's technique that maybe didn't work for them. Innovation would be targeted selling, would be joint venture components with, let's say, somebody like a bottle shop that people are, having a night in and they're ordering pizza and, buying some alcohol, just for a, close friend party or a bigger party or whatever it may be. So joint ventures would be, somebody sells ice cream and you might say, hey, if I'm a pizza shop, would you like to, connect with this? I don't do ice cream. I'd love to be able to do that and sell your product. So around marketing, do you see joint venture marketing and affiliate marketing is innovation. It's leading. Now, what does innovation look like where it comes to the overall business structure? Innovation is getting really clear about where you want your business to head, number one. Number two, it's getting really clear about your IP, or intellectual property. We're going to be talking about that in another video, so keep your eyes out for intellectual property. So in other words, it's what you do and how you do it. Now, a lot of businesses, where it comes to service, as an example, say, we give the best service. Well, I don't know any business that, wakes up in the morning and goes, today, we're just going to give terrible service to everyone. Informs all the staff, hey, make sure you give everybody terrible service. That just doesn't happen, right? So being innovative isn't, we give the best service. Being innovative is the client experience. And here's what I mean. Think of it. Have you ever watched, Cirque du Soleil as an example? When you go and see Cirque du Soleil, it's innovative, it's new, it's fresh, it looks incredible. They're the leaders in the field. Why? Because they've taken the time to understand how do they put that client into a new world experience, to the world of Cirque du Soleil, right? Do yourself a favor if you haven't. Either check out their video or please go and check them out in places, around the world that you can see. In Vegas, there's a lot of them, right? It's innovation. It's absolutely amazing. So what I want you to walk away with here is, how do you innovate your business? How do you start to think what makes us unique? How do you start to think when everybody's kind of zigging that you zag, right? In other words, you're starting to move away from the traditional things that everybody's imitating. You're starting to move into new territories. And the reason being is everybody that says, incredible ideas, the day before it was a crazy notion, but now it's an amazing concept or an amazing idea. But just the day before it was just crazy, that's never going to happen, it's never going to work. So do you see, innovation puts you in a point where you become the leader or the thought leader in your field. I'm hoping you've enjoyed today's episode. I'm Psaila, and I look forward to seeing you on the upside.